Well, it didn't give me any chance to start this thing. It just goes live when I hit the thing. It used to be it would say, connect your streaming software and start this thing, and then you have to hit this other thing to go live, but it keeps changing. So, anyhow, hey guys, how you doing? I was going to set this thing for 5 o'clock, but I guess I ended up 2 minutes early. So, hey Alan, hey Brian. You should start all your streams with a humorous anecdote. But I'm not really that funny, you know, it's not really my thing, so I'm gonna start it with a song. Wow. This is not my Taylor. There we go, let's see. Quality internet. Crazy first world internet. All right, here we go. I am back home in Florida. There's a mosquito in front of my nose, which proves it's true. I left my tropical home far behind to come back to the swamp and the sand. There we go. I think that's pretty much good enough for a song. Yes, I moved back. I'm done. I'm in Florida. I ditched everything. You know, I haven't been on for a while. I've been really busy. I ditched everything, and I'm done. I tired of the bad internet, so here I am. Let me see who's here. So Alan and Brian said hi to you. Black Hole Sun, Turka, Terry, Jan, Kurt, Felicity, Schmidt, Florida Bear 911, Tina, Skippy, Sunny Days, Sandy Toes, and Jeff, Lynn, Gloria, Deanna, JK, Melinda. No, I'm not just coming back for a visit. I'm here. I am totally here. I've left Florida before, you know. I moved to Tennessee for some years and couldn't get Florida out of my system, so I'm back. So, and Sarah, Quincy, Felicity, Burning Tree Bear Clips. It's Sarah, Donna. You had money on Belize, Jeff. That's funny. Hey, JB. Another creator can't have his dream because of bad Wi-Fi. Hashtag first world problems. So anyhow, that's why I have been so disconnected lately. I was in the middle of a crazy move. I mean, I should tell the whole story at some point, but I probably won't. But it was just getting weird, and you know, all our family's back here, and we were missing all the fun, and it just was one of those things like, that's it, I'm done. And it was actually really hard to get travel because of where we were. A friend of mine actually was friends with somebody at the FAA who knew somebody that had a charter company, and we actually took a small prop plane to Puerto Rico, and then from Puerto Rico got into Florida, but there were only 8 seats on this prop plane. And so there was a expatriation flight that the U.S. Embassy had set up, and I actually sent my wife and 2 of our children, because one was a baby, so that the baby could sit on her lap. So the last 2 seats on this flight that was leaving like a day later, I snagged them, and then my friend said, okay, now we can send an 8-seater for the rest of you. So it's like a logistical crazy thing. So yeah, I'm back permanently. I mean, unless I end up moving to Indonesia or something. But no, I didn't sell my land. I didn't sell my car yet. I don't really care. It'll everything works out when it's supposed to work out. I'm not really that concerned. There's a lot of mosquitoes in Florida. But no, I basically I am in Florida, and I'm homeless. So it's great. It's like totally starting over again. So hey Mango dude, that's funny. Thanks, Javier. So yeah, exactly. Mr. Bad's happy hour. Survival gardener comes back to U.S. just in time to survive off his gardening. Feels that way, doesn't it? I was living in an undisclosed location in the tropics. But man alive, it was a heck of a trip, and I've recovered enough now, like to be able to put streams together and that kind of thing again. I was working at my mom's food forest, the Great South Florida Food Forest. I'm in South Florida right now. I am in Fort Lauderdale, and it was really cool. Today I went to Spikes Grove Nursery in Davie, and Spikes Grove is where it's off of Griffin Road between Davie Road and University. And I went to Spikes Grove when my dad and I were planting our food forest. So some years ago, we went and we bought trees there, and I said, "This is it. I'm going to go and get some more. I want some, like, there's some gaps in the where things didn't take, or where some of the ground cover layers have died out, and there's still more space in there to put some things in. So what I'm going to do, I need to go over there and film. The problem is I don't have my the charger for my batteries, and almost all of my stuff is up in North Florida. It got shipped up there, and I'm down in South Florida. So actually doing video production and stuff is really difficult. So I'm going to have to do it on my phone. But I want to do a tour through the South Florida Food Forest Project. But I went to Spikes Grove because I thought, I've got nieces and nephews that are coming over and visiting and picking the mulberries all the time, and they love the mulberries. So I said, I'm going to add some more small fruit. And putting in the purple mombins, and I got a Jamaica cherry tree, which is it's a really good tropical, like, it tastes like caramel corn and cotton candy. Super good. So those two are going in there, and I got my mom a ice cream banana. So it's a lot of fun. But when I went over to Spikes Grove, it was cool because there's a guy working over there named Drew, and he was awesome. He knew me, which was kind of cool, and we got to talk quite a bit. And he's he hooked us up with the trees and got us all set up, and it's interesting. You just go back to places that you haven't been to in a long time. It's like, oh, they're still there. Oh, that's so cool. Carolyn says, love Spikes Grove. Great key lime pie. Truth is Trees says, my dad built that nursery. Well, that's really cool. It's still family nursery. Indy Canada says, hey David, I'm in a bit of a rut from quarantine and the lack of people, which keeps me sane. What are you looking forward to in this new era? I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. Other than the biggest thing I was looking forward to is family, because after a period of time of being really isolated, and the quarantine really doubled down the isolation, and people in my neighborhood were starting to get weird and unfriendly, and people were getting like stressed out. And meanwhile, I'm on a chat with all of my family, which is here in the States. And we were talking back and forth, and they're all having fun, and they're visiting together, and they're dealing with the quarantine stuff in their own ways. My brother is a firefighter, and so he's had to transport people, putting out fires, and dealing with he's a real hero guy. And then other members of my family, they're just kind of getting together and spending time and talking to each other, and I'm like, I really miss this. We are so out in the middle of nowhere, and to come back to Fort Lauderdale, this is where I grew up, this is home, and it feels so good. And if what's crazy is that things actually work here. That's what it's like. It's like, well, I could do without hot water. I could go without air conditioning. I could deal with standing in line for a day to get a permit for something. I could deal with, but it starts to add up. It starts to add up, and it becomes the day to day of living. You don't know how easy things are in the United States until you're out of it for a while. I mean, to be able to just go and run a set of errands, or get your cell phone set up and working in a short period of time. You go to your T-Mobile store. I went to the T-Mobile store, and the guy there was this awesome Puerto Rican guy, and he got me all set up. And we talked. And he said, but here's a plan, and oh, you get unlimited data. I'm like, you get unlimited data? Thank you, T-Mobile. Crazy, and it's just stuff that actually works. At least it works at the moment. But we'll be positive and say that it works. So I'm very, very happy to be back. So thank you very much for all the welcomes back. So other than seeing family, here's what I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to planting a fall garden. That is just what I want to do. A Florida garden in the sand. And the other thing that I've been dying to do is to experiment with methods for improving the sand in Florida long term. So I want to mess with biochar, and I want to see if I can get long-term humus to stick around by trying different clay mixtures and seeing if I can tweak the geology a little bit in some garden beds, and do some experiments with running the clay through the compost pile and then applying it with organic matter in order to bind up, change the cation exchange and all that kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to that. So thank you very much for the super chat into Canada. And not being around people, it's not good for you. I mean, I think the isolation is worse than the virus. It's man, I know somebody that in lockdown, and her dog died, and her dog was like her best friend, and she's in lockdown, can't go hang out with people or anything, and she basically almost drank herself to death because you lose hope, you lose human connection, you feel detached, and then you watch the news and it's all misery and riots and oh, the death rate is up, and the death rate is up, and the death rate is even higher, and the death rate is super death ratey now. And so you get isolated, and you get stressed out of your mind, and you're by yourself, and you're living in your own head, and that's not healthy. We're made to be in communities. Even introverts need people, I have an introvert friend, and I visited him last year, and I said, man, it was so great to see you. I hope to see you again soon. And he says, in another year would be good. But he still wanted to see me. Just wait another year, Thank you very much, Carrie. That's very generous super chat. $49.99. My goodness, thank you. Much appreciated. We have a lot that we have to do. I don't know where I'm going to settle in Florida. I don't know where I'm going to be living. It's absolutely exciting. I know some people don't like this sort of thing, but I absolutely love it. I love challenges, and I love blank slates. Just drop me somewhere in the woods, and I'm absolutely in heaven. Put me into like I talked to somebody the other day, and she said, I lost my job. She says, and I was glad to lose my job because it was really, really stressful job, and it was hard on me. And I said, oh man, I love getting fired because it means you get to do something different. You get to start on something else. So I'm looking forward to fall gardening. I have no idea where I'll be fall gardening. I'm actually tempted to rent right in Broward County because a lot of my family's here. Yes, I did get Taco Bell. Thank you, Wendy. Like the second day I was here, or third day, I guess, I was getting our cell phones set up, and my mother-in-law says, you know what, you guys, she sent me a text, and she said, you could stay a little longer out, like I'm fine watching the kids. If you and Rachel want to go out, there's a really nice Thai place that's right in that area where you are. And I was like, Rachel, does that sound good to you? She's like, that sounds great. I said, yeah, but you know what sounds better? Taco Bell. Because I like to celebrate my American heritage by having a knockoff version of Mexican food. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Brian said, since Fort Lauderdale has a tropical rainforest climate, you should plant a Florida rainforest food forest. I would be tempted to do that. I do have a food forest system here, and it is starting to look like a rainforest. It's unbelievable how dense stuff has gotten. I really need to go through and clear a lot and do some work on it. I got 3 little trees today from Drew over at Spikes Grove. So very cool. So thank you very much, Jeff, for the super chat. Fuel money to meet up for a cigar someday. Absolutely. I am always game to meet up for a cigar. That would be awesome. Let me see. Dr. Julie says, I hope you're in Central Florida again so I can come to take you soon-to-be classes. Yes. I'm thinking of doing the social distancing tour. I have this really cool idea. No, honestly, I'm not really that worried about the virus in general. I'm not that worried. Like I've said before, we all die eventually, and I think this is a really good time for people to be gardening. And if we do an outdoor event and people want to come, they can take whatever kind of precautions they want to. But I think it's a really good time. It's important for us to be planting food. We don't know how things are going to go. We don't know what systems may or may not work in another year or two. It's just so hard to say. But it's always good to grow your own food anyways. But I think relocalizing is the way to go. So I want to do some talks around the state. I just have to organize it. And I'm not much of an organizer. So I may just, have my wife organize me a few things. And we'll see if, I could probably go talk at Fort Myers. I was thinking of doing one down here in Fort Lauderdale. And I will be up in the Ocala area before too long. I'll be in Polk County in a little while, so I'll kind of go to different places and visit different people and see if I could do some talks. It would be really fun to meet a lot of you in person. Donna says, I have 8 acres in Leesburg you can play with. Whoa, that'd be awesome. Delray Beach sounds nice too. I like that area. Sandra says, I've been watching you about 3 months. Looks like I will be staying across the river from you in Cape Coral. Oh, it's beautiful there. I failed miserably at my attempts to raise food here so far. Sandra, I can help you do that. That's a very good climate. It's just a matter of growing the food that actually wants to grow in Florida. If you don't have a copy of my book, Totally Crazy Easy Florida Gardening, that's the crash course. And if you don't feel like buying it on Amazon, just drop me an email and I'll send you the digital version of it. I am David at floridafoodforests.com. Now, I don't know if I have it on my computer at the moment on this computer, but I will try to send it to you. I've got to double check. Everything is all in flux. I don't even have my main computer set up yet. I'm like half of my stuff. I sold a ton of stuff, and then a lot of stuff is sitting in barrels. So. Yes, Kenjo51, I am in Florida for good, Lord willing. Wow, Pantera 1959, that's rough. I'm in lockdown, bedridden 22 hours a day. I'm okay, but I'm used to it. Except it's been since 9/20/2019. I've seen 7 people in almost 1 year. I am so sorry. That is really tough. Thank you very much for the super chat. Just keep planting with Nemo. For the jet fuel, welcome back. Thank you very much. I still have to actually I have to pay for a few things, so it's much appreciated. Trucks over bells as far as tacos go. Yes, but Taco Bell got me through college. It's there's something to it. There's something in my soul. Betsy said, "What? I thought y'all left because Florida had so many rules about yams, etc. What changed?" Just missing family is most of it, and being super isolated. Things just. I was like, I'm just done. I hit a point during the lockdown where I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to be this far away from family. The next tough thing that comes through, I just don't want to do it. Trudging uphill in a foreign culture, and I really come to realize too how many of my people are here, like you guys. So many people have written me and they're like, I'm in, Oklawaha, I'm in Pensacola, I'm in, wherever, and said, how do I garden here? Or can you come to my place? When you're in Florida, would you give a talk? Or, that kind of thing. And I'm like, I'm missing all of this. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with tropical agriculture, and I was doing a lot of cool stuff, but I just like, I mean, it's so cool to just have people around you that dig what you're doing. I had such difficulty trying to deal with the government and trying to get anything done. Now, it's not that the government had high regulations, because they didn't. It was just that they didn't have any desire to, they weren't interested in anything I was doing, and they made it really kind of a pain in the neck to maintain my visas and other stuff. And I just got sick of the third world red tape as well. So, no, Florida's got a lot of regulations, but there are places that are not that regulated to get further out in the country. Lehigh Acres, Lee County, that sounds nice. Secret Garden Homestead says, "Hey, so good to see you. Got my Compost Your Enemy shirt on by coincidence." Thank you very much, Ashley, for the super chat. God bless. Expat Prepper says, I've been living in the Philippines for 12 years, and Taco Bell is the one that I miss the most. Yeah, I get it. It's true. Ashley said, I left South Florida, too expensive. Yeah, that's why I left it originally, too, but it's hard because I've got, sister and family and mom and in-laws, lots of in-laws here, and, it's... Arkansas Woodcutter says, surviving dengue and malaria, COVID. Yeah, I know, I got a couple of tropical viruses down near the equator that rocked me. I mean, like, just shaky chills. One of those mosquito, it might have been Zika, it might have been dengue, but I didn't even get it as bad as people get it, and I was like, stiff and sore and ill, like shaky and like you can't walk. Oh, it's amazing. Barely. Jeff says, I recall in a video on coffee beans you saying, I miss Publix with so much sadness. Yeah, you don't realize it. Publix is where shopping is a pleasure. This stream sponsored by T-Mobile, Publix, and Taco Bell. Fernando County. Oh, yeah. Cardi says, when you are rooting peaches in the fridge, do you water them when they seem dry? Yes, but often I just stick them in a closed Ziploc bag with slightly moist soil when I put the pits in there to sprout, and I never have to water them because it's closed. Thank you. Good to be home. Green Christendom. Oh, Karen, you're in Lehigh? I'll have to come over. A few of my friends live over there. Just keep planning with Nemo says, you gained a bunch of experience moving abroad. Yeah, absolutely. I got a college education in tropical agriculture. It was fantastic. Plus, you learn to appreciate your own culture much more when you have to interact with another one on a daily basis. Learn tons. So, Lauren says, did you ever figure out if your Gainesville mulberry is 5th Street or 6th Street? I have it on my website, thesurvivalgardener.com. In one of the posts, I have to search. I think it's 5th Street. Putnam County. Yeah, the downside, the further north you go in Florida, the harder it is to grow mangoes. And that's really a limiting thing for me. I really want to grow chocolate pudding fruit and mangoes and lychees and some of these things that I spent a lot of time in North Florida gardening, and I just would really love to do the tropical tree thing. Taco Bell keeps us all coming back. Here and Now, only 111 said, let me know if you're going to the Fruit and Spice Park. It would be awesome to meet you there. Yeah, I went there, gosh, 5 years ago before I moved, and loved it. Such a cool place, and always different fruits in season. Oh, man. Look at, also sponsored by Flanagan's. Flanagan's is awesome. Love Garden says, David, is a good time of year to grow Seminole pumpkin in Melbourne, Florida? Not particularly. Earliest in the year is that you can do it is the best, but it's probably going to do it anyways. Like when it gets hot, they often don't set fruit well, and they'll set fruit later. And if you have cold snaps, they slow down, and if it freezes, they die. But let me see what your growing zone is there. I have not been to Melbourne, I don't think. Let me see. Where are you? Oh, yes. I know where you are. I have been near there. Okay. Yeah, south of Titusville. Mims. You could get away with it. You could do a fall one because with how close you are to the ocean, you could just go ahead and plant some and see how they do. Generally, the best time to plant them in your area would probably be February, and then they would grow through the beginning. So, Kurt says, come get cuttings, David, we have mangoes. That sounds great. I have to get over there to Lehigh Acres, too. Carolyn says, I'm still growing my mangoes with the cattle panels covered in the winter. Yes, John, I'm back in the States. Patubel says, please share your fall gardening process in Naples and have struggled. Planted longevity spinach, wing yam on your recommendations, and they're doing well. Looking forward to more from you. If you're in an area that freezes, you really have to keep that in mind. You get a short period before it snaps, and so like when I was in North Florida, I would plant my fall gardens usually in October, September, end of September and beginning of October. As the air started to get a little cooler at night, then I would put in like quick stuff. Like I would put in, peppers, and I would put in another round of green beans because it was starting to cool off enough that I could put them in and they'd be happy. Corn never really did well for me in the fall. Potatoes did not do well for me in the fall. Sweet potatoes, not really. But I would put in usually a quick crop of some like fast-growing warm season stuff. The difference if you're in Naples is that it's warm, and your entire winter is a good gardening season. So you're going to be able to grow just about everything through the winter there without issue. So, I would wait until it's not burning hot out, and then you can plant both warm season plants there, like your bush beans and peppers. But at the same time, you can also put in cool season stuff because it's going to be cool enough it's not going to destroy it. So all of your cold crops, cauliflower, broccoli, cabbages, turnips, carrots, daikons, those cooler season things, you can put in peas. Those do well through that season, but they do not do well often once it gets past about March. It gets too hot. March and April, it's like that's about your line. And then you have this dead zone in the summer where you can grow your tropical, like hardcore tropical Southeast Asian type vegetables like the yard-long beans. You can grow okra, but the other stuff is just like it's too much, and you kind of got to wait again until it gets to September, October to kind of plant the things that are going to go through. But you get a longer season. Those of you that are in North Florida or further inland where it freezes, you pretty much get spring and you get fall. And if you want stuff that stays alive all the way through the winter, you can plant, your kale and cabbages and things that can take frosts. But your warm season stuff is out. And really, the trick is to grow the stuff that likes the climate. That's the biggest thing. Drew sends a super chat, says, "Welcome back, brother. We're all in this together now. God bless America. He knows we need it and probably don't deserve it. Yeah, we don't deserve any blessings from God, which is why it's grace. It's God's grace. He gives us things we do not deserve. We don't deserve anything from Him. And, you know, there's so many great, wonderful things about this country, and we need to focus on the positive stuff and on encouraging and loving those people around us that are under huge stress right now. Makes a big difference, you know. Thank you very much for the super chat. Jonathan says, real estate is so expensive nearly everywhere, hoping to have enough someday to buy land for homesteading with my family. I am not an investment advisor, but my recommendation, this is what I would do, would be to hold on to cash, or if you're inclined to buying bullion, buy gold and silver bullion and hang on to it, because I think that we are going to see a real estate crash again because the prices are nuts. We may not see as much of a crash in country properties, unfortunately, because a lot of people are trying to get out of the city right now. They're getting nerve-wracked by the city stuff. But I do think that there will probably be some deals coming. And the important thing is to get out of debt, first of all, so you're starting at 0 points. So you can't go below, you know, the debt is really the killer. It makes you fragile, and it makes it hard to move around. You know, you can drop everything and go if you're not heavily in debt, you know, if you have to. And when you see an opportunity, you're more likely to get it. But I would just save and wait and see what comes up. And I would also pray, because there's going to be somebody out there that has something, and you know, something will open. Paul says, David, you look like you're in my Orlando backyard. No, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Michael says, are you visiting the States, or you really moved back? Yeah, I really moved back. I'm starting my garden over again. But you know, I've got 2 food forest projects here already, and I have helped people plant gardens and trees all over this entire state. So anywhere I go, there are gardens that I've been involved in. You know, it's kind of cool. Like, I'm working on, you know, the garden in my mom's backyard, and I was doing some weeding over there today, and I got some trees I'm going to put in. Awesome to just come back to, like, looking at trees that I planted almost 10 years ago and seeing how great they are. I'm cutting down coconuts from a tree that I planted, eating starfruit from trees that I planted, picking mulberries for the kids off of a mulberry I planted. Beautiful. It just makes me want to plant more. So I don't mind. I'm happy to help other people plant their gardens at this point. I will get, when I get a rental house, I'm going to make sure that it's a yard that I can put gardens in, and I'll just concentrate on annuals to feed the family in the backyard, and then other people that I know, I'll plant trees in their yard. Dragon fruit sounds great, Kurt. Thank you. Just keep planning with Nemo said, any chance you can move back to your old food forest? Maybe we could do a crowdfunding event to help raise some money. That would be really cool. I did talk to the lady that owns it and asked her about it, but she's very happy there, so not at this point. I'm here to stop the food shortage. That's right, John. That's awesome. Arkansas Woodcutter said, it's so awesome to see you again, brother. Been missing your awful voice and ideas. Thanks. That means a lot. Kenneth says, in Southwest Florida, we plant in October, unlike the rest of the country. Yeah, right. Country living is best. Thank you, New Tunes for Old Logos, for the super chat. It says, David, your wife has the patience of a saint. She literally is a saint. Thank you. Lauren says, I have 160 acres in the middle of the panhandle you're welcome to squat on. That's crazy. Yeah, Javier, the broccoli does well. The important thing with it, I've found, is to, if you can get cottonseed meal, blood meal, bone meal, you know, those sorts of things, or fish emulsion, but I like to turn a bunch of stuff in, like ashes, compost, whatever, turn it into the bed and get the bed really fertile in the fall, and then plant when it's really been enriched, and they do well. If they grow good and strong when they're young, then they make nice big heads. Broccoli's not that hard to grow. Yeah, Alan, I agree. The eviction and foreclosures, the property is going to be more affordable. Unfortunately for a lot of people. Hartmunda says, where can I learn how low temperatures relate to proximity to the ocean? I wrote about it in Push the Zone, the good guide to growing tropical plants beyond the tropics, the microclimate effect. Basically, if you're within a couple of miles of the ocean, you are usually a zone warmer than inland. So if you're, if it says you're in zone 9, but the beach is almost your backyard, you can probably grow some tropical stuff that nobody else could. Particularly if you are on the east side of the state where the Gulf Stream is coming through. The water is warm comparatively. And where I was in the center of the state before, north of Ocala, I couldn't grow hardly anything tropical. We had a 12-degree night overnight once. I think it was in 2011 or 2012. That was brutal. See, that takes all your papaya out. It freezes your bananas. It freezes, it kills all the tropical stuff. But if I visited over in Ormond Beach, I did a talk to a prepper group, and I stayed with a friend over there, and they had Royal Poinciana trees in their yard. They had sea grapes. They had tropical fruit because they were right near the ocean. But it was the same plain, crazy. Tomek says, hi from Europe. What is it about nematodes in Florida? I didn't hear about them anywhere else. They're just a big problem in Florida. They're in the tropics too. I had problems with nematodes in my tropical gardens. It seems to be more of a warm weather problem. I don't know, Kinjo. The bacterial leaf spot is just really common when it's the wet, humid time of the year. Thank you, Gojira. I appreciate it. Robert says, I have 3 acres in Loxahatchee. Awesome. Good, you're moving to Loxahatchee in 2 weeks. Congratulations. Let me see. I agree, country living is the best. But, man, I mean, I got some shirts from TJ Maxx. I got socks, shoes. I just went out shopping and I got everything I needed. It would have been a day's worth of work for like half of the quality where I was. And it's astounding when you're, in Fort Lauderdale how you can just get anything you need. You can basically drive 10 blocks and get your prescription glasses and get your cell phone fixed and all that kind of stuff, I'm a repat. That's right, Lance. Yeah, John says, I'm in Jacksonville and grow starfruit, jabuticaba, mango, lychee, etc. Yeah, and if you tell people how far north you are in the state, they don't realize it really makes a difference how close you are to the ocean. Serious. Kenneth says, growing Royal Poinciana from seed, great plans, excelling. They are very easy to grow from seed, and they grow very rapidly. Alex says, ideally I want to build up the soil, but what are some foods that grow well in bad sandy Jacksonville soil, if any? You can get away with black-eyed peas will grow in bad soil. You can often grow some pretty good sweet potatoes in pretty crummy soil. But what you need to do is put some ashes or something out there first. Get a little, you don't want them to, you don't want to give them too much nitrogen. A little organic matter helps. If you grow them in mulch, that helps too. But the yard long beans do well. Moringa will do fine. Cassava usually does well. Lauren says, what's your advice for stopping those iguanas from eating your garden? That is a bad one. Hey, we've got Steve Solomon in the house. You guys know who Steve Solomon is, right? Author of Gardening When It Counts. Steve's a friend of mine. It's nice to see you, Steve. Steve Solomon is in the house. Okay, let me see where we are here. Love Garden sends a $5 super chat. Thank you for all the helpful of this. You're very welcome. Let me see here. Green Rev's electric bike shop. Cool. One of my sons is huge into bikes. He loves to fix bikes. David, I am glad you are back. I have your books, and I made a small food forest as inspired by you. I'm also one of those planning to move to the country. Mountains ASAP. Good. Do it. Do it. Kenneth says, why are my mulberries so small? Sometimes young trees will make smaller fruit if they don't have a big root system yet. I have seen mulberries make larger fruit over time when they're more established. So that may be it, or it may be genetically. There is a big amount of genetics goes into the fruit size. Some of the everbearing ones, particularly the dwarf everbearing, they often make fruit that are like that big. They're not that impressive, but I've seen them like this big. Craig Hepworth in Florida has got some amazing huge ones. Zachary says, what happened with the church agriculture project? I handed it over to 2 locals who are already planting the edges of it. They were planting corn and peas and pumpkins and stuff, and I was planting the back of it, and I got a whole bunch more trees and donated them to the church, and they're putting them all in, so they don't even need me. That's cool. But I gotta do it again here. Ashley said, pray to God to find the right homestead. I did. I got 3 acres, solar power, an orchard, chickens, and food forest. Sounds perfect. Something like that would be perfect. I'm looking for at least a couple of acres. Doesn't need to be much. I'm not a huge acreage type of a person. I can grow a lot in a small space. I'm happy with that. So I have not. The status of the place where I was living is it's still pretty locked down, and it's gotten uncomfortable. But I'm homeless in Florida at this point. I'm just crashing with family, wandering around, doing my YouTube channel, like living the dream, man. I'm part of the COVID-19 homelessness crisis right now. Not really. It's no big deal. I'm going to find someplace. I have a friend that's probably going to rent a house. I just have to do some repair work on it. I'll go live there for a while. Betty said, I live in Dania Beach. Oh, yeah, we're close, Betty. Yep. That is so cool. I'm not that far away. I'm in Riverland right now. Let me see here. Hey, Lettuce Man. Great. Grafting is so much fun. So much fun. Once you start doing it, it's easy. Let me see here. Julie, that sounds great. 5 acres in Central Florida with a good mortgage sounds good. As for the iguanas, they're a huge problem, but they're good to eat. So I would shoot them and eat them. They're really good. I had them. Arkansas Woodcutter says, I bought Steve Solomon's book. When I got it open and 3 hours later realized it was an awesome book, and bought and gave away 3 more copies. Yeah, I've recommended his books so many times. Steve is my gardening mentor. Like I look up to Steve because when I was really, before I became a garden writer, I was reading Steve Solomon, and both my wife and I enjoyed his books. And the Intelligent Gardener, if you want to get a little nerdier and really work on your nutrition, The Intelligent Gardener is fantastic, but it's not going to line up with what you hear from Dr. Elaine Ingram, so be ready if your mind might get blown up. So, well, good, Regal Rodents. I'm a total beginner, trying to grow in 5-gallon buckets. I've done that. My first time for everything self-sustainability. Good work. Do it. Do it. You got to start somewhere. Buckets? Great. Do it. Oh, yeah, the family's with me. I'm home. We're all home. No, did not sell our place yet, Austin. It's just sitting. All right, Steve. I'll talk to you later, man. God bless. Say hi to everybody at church. Shashakila says, Dave, glad you're back. But good you got to see folks. Oh yeah, I'm having fun. Rick says, let's get serious and talk olives. Welcome back, David. Welcome back. Yeah, I wanna start a tropical farm in Massachusetts. Let's see here. Matthew says, no more tropics. How much were the plane tickets? It was brutal. Over, I don't even know if I should say. Let's say it was more than 5 ounces of gold. It was brutal, because we were not able to get our area was locked up, and we were not able to get direct flights. We had to do crazy stuff. My wife had to fly to New York and then into Florida, and I had to fly with the other kids on a 8-seat charter prop plane to Puerto Rico and then stay overnight there and get in. So it was exciting. I don't know what Homestead Rescue is, but I don't watch very much. Lauraful says, today we planted out a lot of the strawberry seedlings in the garden. I would love, did you take pictures of that process? That would be so much fun to share. Oh, I loved Puerto Rico, man. Brian, everybody in Puerto Rico was so sweet. I traveled, me and 7 children. And they were so kind and sweet in Puerto Rico. Like, everybody was like, what a beautiful family. How you doing? Do you live in Puerto Rico? My brother-in-law is from Puerto Rico, and one of my very best friends is Puerto Rican too. And so I was like, oh yeah, my brother-in-law is from Puerto Rico, and man, it looked a lot like Fort Lauderdale. I loved it. I wish that I could have stayed. I was only there overnight. I can't go to Puerto Rico though, Brian, because all my family's here. That's a problem. No, I agree, not YouTubing for safety's sake, but if you did take photos of it, Lauraful, and had your germination process or some photos of the ones that you grew, I would totally love to share the photos. Yeah, kids are king in Latin countries. I agree. There's a real love for family and extended family. Matthew says, are you glad to be back in the States? Couldn't have been in a more scary time. Yeah! I'm glad to be back in the States, and I'm not scared. I mean, I know it's a scary time and everything, but having that in mind is good for it's good to remember. To have hard times will probably drive us back to God. It'll be good for a lot of people to get shook up, I think. I mean, it's not going to be easy. I think things are going to get very difficult. But hopefully we focus on what's important: our family, our faith, our communities. So. No, I'm in Florida for good. I don't know where I'm going to be living. I'm probably up in North Florida. I do think Trump is going to win the election. He seems to have the energy with him. I don't know how everything's going to go, but I think we probably got 4 more years of Trump. Templar says, amen to that. These last couple days without electricity here in East Texas has made me reappreciate it. Yeah, really, it's true. Sunny Sandy Toe says, we couldn't fly home from Guam because it costs so much. Had to take a military hop. Wow. That's cool. That's funny. So anyhow, guys, I'm back. I've got my old Washburn guitar. I got this guitar for $20 back when I was like 20 years old. So Let me see here. Chester Keeler said, I understand, needed to know, I guess. I have a friend that lived in another location farming for decades and moved back to the U.S. Says he never fit in no matter what. Yeah, I agree. I just wouldn't fit. Yeah, I moved home for family. That's most of it. Thank you, Dan. I really appreciate it. Polk County. I'm gonna be in Polk County very shortly. Middle of the month. I love Polk County. The last days in the tropics. It's like the last days of Jonestown, Matthew. Basically ditching everything. It wasn't that scary. We didn't have any Kool-Aid. But, I don't have a song to play. There should be a song about Florida, probably. I got nothing. I probably didn't drink enough coffee before this. And it's so hot. Shannon says, welcome home. We just love you. Well, thank you very much, Shannon. I've been watching since you were first on Justin's channel. Oh, that's cool. The Publix song. Let's see. Oh baby, one day they'll play the song at Publix, and you'll be rolling along with your cart full of quail eggs. Sorry, just a second. Not expecting to be assaulted by a really catchy tune. Oh baby, one day they'll play the song at Publix, and you'll be rolling along with your cart full of Band-Aids. Not expecting to be assaulted by a really catchy tune. Oh baby, one day they'll play the song at Publix, and you'll be rolling along with your cart full of sardines. Not expecting to be assaulted by a really catchy tune. Oh baby, the song never ends. Actually, it's the song that never ends, except it's about Publix. You'll be rolling along with your cart full of cheddar. Not expecting to be assaulted by her with a catchy tune. It just keeps going. It's like it never stops. Oh, Beach Bear, thank you very much for the super chat. Welcome back, David. There's no place like Florida. Oh, man, I agree. They have $20 whole jackfruit at Publix. I'm going. Oh, Grime Knight, thank you very much, man. Holy cow. Florida man returneth. Glad you and your family are safe, David. Thank you so much. We are safe and sound and with family in beautiful Fort Lauderdale. I don't know that I have the all the lyrics for 30,000 Years on this computer, Caroline. Let me see. No, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one, and I'm still cheating when I sing that song. I don't have any plans to do any events in upstate South Carolina, but I do have family there. Got family all over the place. Lettuce Man says, what are your favorite fruits to grow from seed? By far, peaches. Peaches are so fast from seed. It's ridiculous. I had one bloom in 18 months. So I did leave. Blackula says, what led you to come back at this extremely tumultuous time? I thought you guys left to escape the collapse. Well, we realized the collapse was following us and that we were not particularly welcome. So might as well go home and die among family. Whew. So Austin says, been cooking for 5 minutes. Just noticed the pot isn't plugged in. You're so distracting. That's funny. That's funny. Man, I can't get over that grime night. Thank you. Hey, have a good night, Matthew. I got to go over to some family for dinner. I have an aunt from, it's actually my wife's aunt from Thailand, and she is making Thai food for dinner, and she was teaching my daughter how to cook Thai food this afternoon. So we are going to go get some nice, hot, spicy, awesome Thai curry. She always hooks me up with the spicy stuff because she knows I love it. So I'm going to go get some Thai curry and visit family. We're supposed to be over there in a few minutes, so I'm going to get off. But good job, Bad Drivers of Columbus, Georgia. 6 peach trees from seed. Peaches for you. Peaches from seed. Oh, cool. Paul says, David, my beautiful wife bought me your Florida Food Forest book, and we have planted many, many edible trees. Super fun. Thank you very much. You know, that little Florida Food Forest booklet is being expanded right now into a great big book. Like, it's up to almost 70,000 words now. So it's going to be beautiful. And I've got so many artists that have sent me illustrations. Once I get settled, I will organize it and finish it because it's almost completely written. So... Andreas says, watching from Malta, Europe, at 00:55 a.m. Holy moly, man. By the way, what happened to tonka bean seeds? They germinated very well. They're growing well. Yes, that's right. John says, I think I remember seeing a video you made at this aunt's house. Yeah, she's amazing. She's really sweet, and she's a very good gardener. And, of course, the food, Thai food. Unbelievable. It's almost as good as Taco Bell. So I am going to let you guys go, but I really thank you so much for being so patient. I know that I haven't been producing videos. I know I haven't been doing live streams, and some of my members knew what was going on because I was talking with the members on the channel. I can do chats. Like if you're a member of the channel, I can do chats just for members, and I reposted all my old Goodstreams in the members section, and then I told them that I was coming back because, well, I mean, a lot of them are in Florida, and they're the folks that were really kind of investing in a lot of what I was doing. Like, look, I'm not going to be doing any videos for a while. It was so crazy. It was an absolute whirlwind. Ditch everything, turn all the utilities off, clean everything out, sell everything, try to figure out a long, rambling, crazy set of tickets. And get things taken care of, and then I am out the other side now, but I still don't have my camera, so I've got to do some cell phone videos for a while. So please bear with me. It's not going to be up to my normal quality, such as it is, and I'm not going to be able to film Baphemus 3 for a while, which is difficult, you know. That's funny. Laura Full says you don't have to be active. Just film all of Pete Canaris' yard for season. Yeah, it'd be really funny. It'd be like looking through Pete Canaris' fence. I'm over here by the cabbages. It'd be awesome. Carolyn said, did you find a van for the family? Yes! That's another thing. Man, God takes care of you. I did not expect this thing. I was actually looking at moving to Chile, actually, not back to Florida. And a couple of things opened up, and I just realized, this is it. I'm going back to family. I'm done. I'm going back to family. It's just, everything's crazy. But a friend of mine had gotten a new van, and he had his old van he was going to put up for sale, and it needed a little bit of repairs on it, so I'm getting an old Ford van this next week. I will be traveling through Alabama coming up in this next week to go do some work for a ministry that wanted me to help them with some looking at some land and that kind of thing. So when I go over there, a guy is actually bringing me a van because I came back. I have no van. I have no house. I didn't even hardly have clothing. I got rid of my sneakers and I wore my really beat up dress shoes. Kind of hilarious. I sold my Taylor guitar. I did all this stuff to ditch and go through. And yeah, so they just decided to give me an old van. It just needs some work. It's got a ding in the side and stuff like that. But that feels really comfortable because I am totally like blue-collar redneck territory. I mean, if something looks too nice, I like stick my hands in my pockets and I don't want to touch it. So it's my kind of thing. I'm so excited. So excited. And it's a Ford. Big old Ford van. I like this. I like the way when you put the Ford into gear, it's like thunk, clunk. You know, it's not like it just slips into gear. There's like this little thunk. Like you really know it went into gear. So, yeah, God bless you all. Hey, Sarah, I'm back. I'm back in Florida. So, God bless you all. Thank you very much for the incredible Super Chats this evening. Much appreciated. It is a very interesting time. And the Super Chats are appreciated always. And thanks for the... That's just cool. Grime Knight, thank you. Beach Bear, Love Garden, new tunes for old logos. Drew, Ashley, just keep planting with Nemo. Jeff, Carolyn, Karen into Canada. Thank you all very much for the Super Chats this evening. God bless you all, and God bless your gardens. I'm going to try and set up some live events in Florida before too long. We'll do the Corona Chan tour. I have this really cool graphic design idea for a little tour graphic. I gotta talk to my friend Amy about a T-shirt, I think. So, yeah, A4000T. You can rewatch the stream. I talk about why I moved. So, no, not just visiting. I'm back. I am back in Florida, and I moved here. I'm done. I'm in Fort Lauderdale now. The van is pre-disastered. Exactly. So, yeah, God bless you all. Thanks for the welcome back. I'm happy to be here, happy to be with family again, and it wasn't a failure. I learned tons. I learned how to build my own house, and I built little cabins and planted tropical food forests. I got to see all kinds of things I never did, learned new culture, learned all kinds of stuff, and it was a great time. And remember what I always say: look, we're all gonna die one day. So when you get an interesting opportunity, you just take it and do it. See where it goes. Don't spend your entire life going, oh, what if I screw up? What if I screw up? What if I screw up? Nah, don't worry about it. Just do it. See what happens. Can you grow cinnamon in Orlando? I don't know. Plant one. Don't be afraid. Somebody says, hey, why don't you come down to, visit me in Costa Rica for 3 months? Well, hey, if you could do it, go do it. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll meet somebody. Maybe something interesting happened. While I was gone, my YouTube channel went from 3,000 subscribers to 104,000, and I wasn't even in the U.S. My Florida gardening books, particularly Totally Crazy Easy Florida Gardening, was a bestseller, and so was Grow or Die through this Corona crisis thing, which gave us some more money towards moving. But we didn't know it then. I was just like, oh my goodness, it's like really selling right now, and we can't even go to the store because everything's locked down. And I can't even get this money. This is insane. What's this money, this extra money for? And then suddenly I've got to move. So just things all came together. So praise the Lord. I'm excited. Yeah, if you go to my website, thesurvivalgardener.com, you can read some of what happened. Thank you, Sunny Days and Sandy Toes. Fort Walton Beach. Cool. He needed to bust down the doors at YouTube to get his button. It required a move. Yeah, they still haven't even notified me. They haven't given me they're supposed to give you a notification when you break through 100,000. So, no. Anyhow, have fun, guys. God bless you all. Thanks to the members. Thanks you for everybody who shared Super Chats this evening. And thank you for all of you for showing up and for the wonderful welcome back. I hope to meet many of you in person soon. I'm going to do some speaking tours, and I finally saw a hardcover copy of my paperback, but actual copy of my book, Florida Survival Gardening. There's a link below this video if you're interested in survival gardening in Florida. There's a link to it, Florida Survival Gardening. I finally saw a copy of my own book, and I'm ordering a box of 60, and I'm going to sign them, and anybody that comes to any of my events, they will be there. So, catch y'all soon, and I will catch you next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green.